So I want to tell y'all a story about a welfare queen in Mississippi. And her name is Betsy Johnson. She was arrested for stealing $22,000 in SNAP benefits. Now, specifically, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Again, that is food stamps. Now, she did not report her household income, which was obviously more than would allow her to get food stamps, but she kept that on the hush hush. Now, the Mississippi Department of Human Services Investigation Division, which, seeks out fraud and figures out ways to deter it, turned it over to the DA, and they indicted her on the 31st of July. And then she decided, well, I'm going to turn myself in on August 8th. Now, of course, we've heard a lot about the trope of the welfare queen, right? Now, when you hear about the welfare queen, you probably think of a black woman because that's what society and the media has told you is the welfare queen, right? That's the one that's committing all the crime. Now, specifically, the trope is a derogatory and racially charged stereotype that portrays a woman, typically an urban and Black American woman, who abuses the welfare system for personal enrichment. This image became a potent political tool in the 1970s and 80s, primarily used to justify cuts to social assistance programs. Now, the trope was popularized by that of Ronald Reagan during his 1976 presidential campaign. In his speeches, he would repeatedly tell a story about a woman from Chicago who had multiple aliases, social security numbers, and addresses to fraudulently collect various government benefits, including welfare, food stamps, and veteran benefits. Now, he claimed she had a tax-free income over $150,000 a year, and get this, she drove a Cadillac. While Reagan didn't use the specific term welfare queen in his speeches, the story was widely understood to refer to a real-life woman named Linda Taylor. A Chicago newspaper had dubbed her, you guessed it, the welfare queen in 1974 after she was indicted for welfare fraud. While Taylor was indeed a con artist who committed welfare fraud, Reagan's account of her exploits was significantly exaggerated. The stereotype she claimed to have represent was highly misleading, as welfare fraud is and always has been extremely rare. And the majority of welfare recipients are not Black American. The welfare queen stereotypes has a lasting effect on public perception of poverty, reinforcing racist and classist beliefs and influencing social policy in the United States. So basically, again, when we think of a welfare queen, we think of Black because, again, that has been put out there that it's a Black woman. And as I always say, when you think about it, I typically think of a fat, Black, lazy woman that's loading up her cart of, groceries of Zuzus and Wham Whams, no nutrition. She just eating greedy, right? But again, that's not what that is. But I want to get back to Miss Betsy Johnson there. 22,000, ma'am. 22,000, and you already got money from what they're saying? And you just feel like you can rook the welfare system? But the other thing is, y'all ain't hear about Betsy, did you? Now, you know why you ain't really heard about it, although it was a news report. I just happened upon it, to be honest with you. But you didn't hear about it because she white. She white. And that don't necessarily jive with the media's portrayal of the welfare queen, right? That's used a lot. They want you to think it's a Black woman that's rooking the system. And again, most recipients on welfare are not Black. They are white. But they want you to think that most of the recipients are Black. So I just thought I'd dispel that myth and highlight there Miss Betsy Johnson that she eating greedy. She eating high on the hog. And she don't look like that stereotype, that trope of a big, fat, Black woman with a church full of kids running throughout the grocery store, throwing all kind of Hot Pockets and stuff in there. Now, I don't know what she was buying. I'm sure she was probably eating all right. $22,000. I'd say so. But yeah, there she is. Welfare queen right there in Mississippi, Pearl River to be exact. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and